Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge More, people. Champions League is back. Arsenal start with a bang. Liverpool waiting for Isak debut today. Spurs, 4 clean sheets in 5, completely different team. Absolutely under Thomas Frank. Are they now a tough team to beat? But they start with 1-0 win. Chelsea, the depth is not as good as we think. They travel to Bayern Munich. We'll talk about that as well. Guys, help the algorithms. Hit that like button. People, if you are here and if you're here for the first time and watching this on the replay, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. We got Egal, we got Jerry here, we got Jim, of course, from also Spurs. We got Mack is here. Shez might be joining us momentarily, of course, after he finishes his stream. How's everyone doing? He's smiling, he got it. It's like
good. I'm good, man. I'm good.
It's happy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in the beginning of the season, we noticed that a lot of Arsenal fans stopped watching and they kind of gave up hope in the season. And they're like, yeah, Liverpool are signing Isak, they signed Wirtz, they signed this. But I'm seeing a trend now that Arsenal fans are more confident in their team and the depth. And seeing Mosquera play, seeing Madueke play now, they're more confident now. So they're back with the positivity.
I think Eze had a big part to do with that. Us signing Eze really gave us a lot of excitement. And I would say it's probably one of the most exciting signings in a long time, based on the manner that we stole him from Tottenham at the end, and he's an Arsenal boy coming back. That really was the icing on the cake for me, because a lot of people thought Nani Madueke was going to be the only winger signing coming in. And it really made everyone be like, you know what? The window looks a lot better now. The moment the window looked a lot better.
I want to start the show right away by, there is a lot of pundits and a lot of ex-footballers yesterday said that Arsenal depth is the best in Europe. By the way, a lot of them have said that. One of the people that are on this panel that I've spoken to is Jerry throughout the summer about the chances of Arsenal winning the league, the chance of Arsenal winning a major trophy at the Champions League. We're not talking about the cups. We're talking about the Champions League or the Premier League. Sam as well have the same opinion that he won't trust Arsenal to win with that. It doesn't matter how deep the squad is. The squad doesn't have the X factors like Liverpool, not the nuclear weapons like Liverpool, like the Salah, the Van Dijks, the Isaks. Also, the manager is holding them back. I actually have a completely different opinion now. I actually think watching Arsenal, they are building up like 2 seasons ago until, you remember that international break when you went on to win 16 out of 18 games. Liverpool, on the other hand, are racking up points, but the performances are not great, right? I'm going to start with Jerry. Do you still have the same opinion as before? Watching Liverpool for 4 games, yes, 12 points out of 12 points. But is that sustainable for you? And looking at the other teams around you, are you still as confident as before in your team?
It's definitely not sustainable. Let's just start off that. It's definitely not sustainable. You can look at the positive spin on it and be like, look, it's a sign of champions. You know, you're playing badly and you're still able to win games. 100% you can look at it that way. But ultimately, you can only look at it from that perspective in hindsight once you see how Liverpool perform in 20 games. Now, if in 20 games Liverpool turn it on and they're winning games but performing well, then you're looking at it like, oh my God, this team's a problem, because even when they're playing poorly, they still manage to go and nick a result or nick a win. It's not sustainable though, and there should be questions as to why Liverpool are playing the way they are, because this is something that's been continuing since pre-season. So in pre-season, Liverpool are still quite, poor in terms of performance, but we're still waiting for Liverpool to kick on, and I think that's what Liverpool fans are going to look towards. Regarding Arsenal, my point was never that Liverpool have got more of an X factor or whatever. The difference is that Liverpool have a team and a core of players that have done it before. And with Arsenal, I can't go and say, I can't look towards anyone in that team and say, yeah, they've done it before. Hence why when I go and look at it, if they're coming up against a PSG team, I'm going to favour a PSG team, because when the chips are down, that's a team that's done it before. Same as Madrid. When City came up against Madrid, City were outstanding a couple seasons back, right? Against Madrid. Madrid still won the tie because they just had that nous. They had that.
But City won it without winning it before, Jerry. City won 4-0 against Real
Madrid
Madrid without winning it before.
Exactly. And when they did it, that's when people went and said, okay, you can do it then. And ultimately, that's what it is. When Liverpool were not winning Premier Leagues, when we were going and just challenging with City, no one looked at Liverpool and thought, yeah, they're going to win it, until Liverpool had to go and do it. I think that's fair. I think, why would you want to go and get praised for something that Arsenal have not done? That's not to take away from the fact that their signings are really, really good. That's not to take away from the fact that they've gone and improved this season. In terms of they've addressed the areas they needed to address. That's the most Arsenal could have done. Everyone said they needed a striker. They got a striker. Everyone said they needed a left-sided winger or another winger to add competition to Martinelli and Trossard. They've done that. But whether they can go and win it, if I'm looking at it and Arsenal at their best, and I go and say, all right, Liverpool end up being at their best, or City end up being, not now, but I don't know, Real Madrid.
I don't think you have the problem.
Is that the question?
I don't think you have the depth to actually go in all competitions. You'll have to focus on one.
Why?
Because you don't have the depth. Yes.
Was that Liverpool?
Yeah.
We've got to start 11. We've got a reserve 11, which could probably get top 10 in the Premier League.
You guys have 4 forwards. One of them is going to AFCON. Your 4 forwards are phenomenal. Apart from Chiesa, your 4 forwards probably are better than Arsenal, better than Spurs, better than Chelsea. But we lived, last season is a learning lesson, right? Liverpool fans now are doing what Arsenal fans did in the beginning of last season, when they thought they might go the whole season without an injury, because the season before, no one was injured for Arsenal. Saka played the whole season, Havertz played the whole season, Martinelli played the whole season. Liverpool have 4 forwards. One of them go to AFCON.
They have 6. Whether we rate them or not, they have 6.
You have 6.
Liverpool have 6 forwards.
We have TK, and we've also got
so you're counting Chiesa and the kid.
Well, you have to count that, because the manager decided. The manager let go of Luis Diaz and decided that Rio is going to be a first-team player. So it doesn't matter.
Okay. I didn't count Jens Dolman.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you. Last season, I swear, Egal can attest to this. In the beginning of the season, when Egal told me, there is a Nwaneri kid coming, and I said, you cannot rely on a kid, when as you say, Jerry, when the chips are down, to carry you in tough games in the League of the Champions. The talent is undeniable.
Rio scored against Newcastle, the winner, and Chiesa scored the winner against Bournemouth.
The talent is undeniable, but I have the same energy for Max Bowman, for Nwaneri.
No. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying that whether that depth is going to be enough. Right, but what I'm saying is the manager and the club have decided, right? They let go of Luis Diaz, and they did not bring in another left wing replacement at all.
Arsenal did the same last season, thinking that Nwaneri is going to be the backup for Saka.
They did, and guess what? And the argument was with a lot of people, and Egal could probably say that there was games where, as Arsenal fans sat there and said, you know what, Nwaneri could have played that game, but he didn't come on. Nwaneri's in the squad, but he's not getting any minutes. So what I'm saying is, of course, I'm looking at it, and Liverpool have 6 forwards with 4 games into the season. If at the end of the season, Rio's played 10 minutes in the whole season, then of course he's not rated by slot to that extent. He doesn't think he can go and add to it, and then you can look at Liverpool's depth. But so far this season, Rio's has to be counted as depth, because what Liverpool have proven in the games when they've played poor is both Chiesa and both Rio have come off the bench and won Liverpool points. Hence why we're sitting top of the table after playing poorly with 12 out of 12 points. So
and
that is
the game. And they've literally
if that happens, if you multiply that across a 38-game season, right, that is depth. Because when the forwards that are starting aren't performing well, you're bringing someone off the bench.
And Nwaneri played third of the season last season for Arsenal. Everyone said that Arsenal didn't have enough depth to actually be a backup for Saka. You know, Nwaneri played minutes-wise third of the season last season. Third.
He played 37 games.
But Arsenal have enough depth.
Minutes-wise, Egal, minutes-wise, he played over 1,000 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is about 12 games. I don't
think any Liverpool fan can sit here and say they have the cover that they want going into the season. But is it enough for them to win? Maybe, because they won it last year.
So where would you get cover? What's cover for you? What would be cover?
Number one, you wanted Mark Gahey for a reason. Let's not act like that wasn't.
Because of Konate.
And because Joe Gomez was potentially getting sold.
Also, you view what do you call it? Gahey as an upgrade on Joe Gomez. Let's be honest here. If Konate is injured for an extended period, do you guys fully trust Joe Gomez to be filling in for him on a consistent basis?
Yeah, because of injuries, no. But Liverpool are looking at getting Gahey as a Konate replacement because Konate doesn't want to sign. Not because because he's better.
Okay. Forget about Konate then. If something happens to Van Dijk, who comes in for him?
Well, that's where you've got Gomez and you've got Leone. That's what.
No. But those if, buts, and maybes are happening to us right now. They're realities. People get injuries. Arsenal currently have Saka, Saliba, Havertz, Jesus, and a couple periphery players.
Odegaard is injured.
All out, right? These are some of our best players. To think Liverpool will have their best players fit and available for the rest of the season is ridiculous. Now, Mo Salah, he's going to go to AFCON. If Chiesa can fill in, if somebody else can fill in, we'll find out. To the same level.
100%. We have to find out.
Right?
100%.
If what do you call it? Szoboszlai has already filled in the right back position quite well. I expect Slot to find solutions. But in my opinion, I think this Liverpool team last season were really good and they were able to find solutions. So until it gets to a situation where I don't see Arne Slot get solutions, I'm not going to say Liverpool don't have the squad depth. I'm just going to say they don't have the same caliber of squad depth that my team has. But they also have better players in certain key areas, which I don't have.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Arsenal have really good squad depth, as in your squad depth are like first team players. But what Liverpool have better first team players.
Pretty agree.
Not by far, but in certain key areas, yes.
But I think you got to look at Liverpool have more superstar names, don't they, in their squad? That, you know, I think Arsenal have the better squad, like we've said, overall depth wise. You look at the bench for bench, I think Arsenal have got the better bench. But you take the manager and the first 11 in isolation, it's Liverpool. But equally, both of you clubs have the 2 best squads in the league. So it's kind of, but I feel like Arsenal have closed the gap that little bit more, but that's easy. It's easier for them to close the gap than it is for Liverpool to pull further away because they're already the best team in the Premier League. So it's so hard to continually get those marginal gains, and they're doing all they can in bringing in world-class players like Isak. But I feel like Arsenal last year, they were an injury from Saka and Odegaard away from starting to drop off, and this year they're not. And it petrifies me as a Spurs fan. I think even if Arsenal don't win the league, they're picking up a domestic trophy this year as a minimum. I think this is the point now where they've built the squad that they are going to see themselves be able to go deep into multiple competitions without any major issues and being able to play stronger teams than most others can when they're rotating 3 or 4 cups. And that's going to see them over the line in something. Hopefully not.
The only thing that's going to stop Arsenal from winning a trophy this season is Arteta.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
I'm honestly behind when it comes to these whole takes around Arteta. I don't think Arteta's always been this. Everyone always says Arteta's been the problem, when I think he's always been the solution. He's always been the guy who has been finding the solutions with the squad not being of the caliber.
First half at Anfield, Liverpool were there for the taking, and I'm a Liverpool fan. We were there for the taking for Arsenal. But Arteta,
you also have to acknowledge that Liverpool do have a better attack than us, but you guys, it was a small margin game. Your manager said it himself. I'm not talking about that specific one game. I'm talking about the agenda people have, that Arteta is the only deterrent to Arsenal winning. I don't think Arteta is the reason why we didn't beat Man City the 2 times we were in the challenging for them. I don't think Arteta is the reason why we didn't win the league last year. When we actually look at the situation,
definitely the first time, because he was out tactics. Definitely.
No. Pep Guardiola's team, Manchester City, were more prepared and had better players. And at that moment in time, we did not have the squad depth to deal with one injury. The next season, what happened? Pep Guardiola and Liverpool, Pep Guardiola and Man City once again chased us down, and they got ahead of us, and they never let it go. We went into the final day of the season. That right there is just, you got beat by the better team. And last year, it was down to injuries. I don't think at any point you can say it was solely down to the manager. There was always other issues.
But can I say something here? Actually, to play devil's advocate, Arsenal have not won when they have not lost against Big Six teams. It's the first time in 3 years that Arsenal lose against Big Six team at Anfield. So you basically are 2 points behind your good seasons coming second. So you're already 2 points behind, and your direct rivals, which is Liverpool, are 2 points ahead.
Man United.
Man United.
2 points ahead.
3 points.
Yeah, we basically gained 1 point on last season so far.
No, but Liverpool gained 2 points on last season because they didn't win against you last season.
Yeah, but we also drew against Man United, so that's 2 points gained.
Talking about direct, you gave Liverpool direct.
That really doesn't matter.
Can I say one thing though?
Go ahead. What's wrong? Why is he here?
No, I was gonna say,
nice haircut though.
It's not even fresh, but yeah. I don't really see how it can't be his fault when, like, I just deep something in my head. I think every single top 6 team or Big 7 team has won something in the last 6 years other than Arsenal.
No, we won the FA Cup. Get your
no,
facts right.
So in the last 6 years, sorry.
In the last 6 years, that
When was last time?
How is that relevant? I'm sorry.
It's relevant because it's like, how can every single team have different phases? 5 years, sorry. Different phases.
Still not
different
good.
squad sizes, different quality, different managers, different setups. But the only team who hasn't won something in the last 5 years, who's arguably had one of the best teams in the last 5 years, is Arsenal. How can that not be on the manager?
I do think Arsenal, though, as it was flagged, I do think they had squad depth issues that just made it too difficult for them to compete across multiple competitions at the level Liverpool and City could. And I think it would be harsh to say Arteta's not good enough to win.
How are you not sticking with knife in? Tottenham won a trophy. How are you not sticking with knife right now?
I personally, I feel. Look,
how is this relevant to this season?
I'm
sorry.
I'm
being serious. How is this relevant to the discussion that we're having now?
I'm not talking about the future. I'm talking about the
past. But we are talking about this season. I'm sorry. How is this relevant? Like, this is a cheap dig that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Hey, Mo, do you know why? Because the guy said,
but he didn't do anything.
Referencing for the future, I think the guy said something like, it's not being his fault. He's the solution, not the problem. I think he said that. I don't know if he said that.
Yeah, because I think Arteta.
You don't think he's a good manager then, Sheza? Every manager. He's not the solution. Arteta's a good manager, but you don't think he's a good manager to win league titles.
Mo, how did we get to that extreme? When did I say that? I never said that.
I'm asking you. You can say no. That's not what I said.
I rate him to a certain degree. Obviously, he needs to win a major trophy for me to give him the accolade. Until he does that, everyone's gonna be in the same boat, right?
Fair enough.
There we go then. I think Arsenal fans are the same. They'll tell you that.
No, I don't have any issue with people saying Arsenal have to show it to us that they can go and win the league before we give them praise. I'm not asking for praise. I'm just simply saying I don't think the take that Arteta has been what's the only person that's going to stop this team from winning. I don't think the manager is stopping this team from winning. I think what's been stopping us from winning over the last years has been, one, we just were not ready. The first time when Man City were better than us. The second time we obviously also had injuries versus Liverpool, and I think the second time we just got shown that we did not have what it took to get over the line, because that final couple games no matter what we did, every time we won, Man City still won, and they just had more experience at grinding out the end of the season. For God's sakes, we lost one game out of like 14, and we lost the league. I can't put that on the manager. I can't say the manager is a problem in that game, in that season. The first time, we all know what happened, and last year, we all know what happened. So for the last 3 seasons, there is context behind why we didn't win, and I think the reason why we're even in these discussions is because of the manager, good recruitment from himself and the team, and I don't want to go and put it all on him. If we don't win this year with the squad depth, with a better team, then you guys can say, yeah, it's maybe on the manager. But right now, I think the manager is the reason why we're in the position we're currently in.
I hear what you're saying about the league, but the point I was trying to make originally was any trophy in terms of domestics and stuff. It's like, how am I
the
seeing
league campaign put so much pressure on the squad that it did not allow us to play a strong team versus Brighton or Man United.
For example, Egal, can I give you an example? I think, was it last season or one season before, you lost at home to Liverpool and to Newcastle substantially in cups. Like, how that's not. No,
what is it? The cups don't matter. To be honest with you guys, Wallah al-Azim, the cups don't matter.
Mo, the point isn't about like the cups matter more than the league. The point Egal was trying to make was, he just said it, that apparently going for the league that much had a hindrance on playing certain players in the cup competitions.
Yeah, because you have to choose your spots.
You have no depth. You have no depth.
And their squad, even last season, wasn't good enough to even win a cup. Is that what we're saying? Are you going to sit here and tell me Arsenal team last year, 6 months ago, wasn't good enough?
No, it should be good enough to win the cup.
So if you're saying it is, then it's a lot deeper than just the squad, then, isn't it?
But you know something? This is a disingenuous conversation.
Very good.
I feel like this is a disingenuous conversation because even if we had an FA Cup or a League Cup last season, does that change anybody's opinion of the manager or the squad? I don't think it does.
A lot of people would. For Jerry have told me this 50,000 times.
Because for me, I think the difference is that the conversation wouldn't be about you've got to go and win, you've got to go and do this. I remember when Liverpool were under Jurgen Klopp and we went and failed in the Europa League, and then we went into that season and then we finished top 4 and went far in the Champions League but lost. There was a narrative that Jurgen Klopp can't win with this Liverpool team, and that was a narrative that was being spoken about a lot, whether it was pundits, social media, wherever it is, right? Now what happened is that when Liverpool have gone and won something, and yes, Liverpool won the Champions League, right? But Liverpool won the Champions League, and everyone looked at that Liverpool team now and said, "Oh, okay, you might have to go and take them seriously." If us and this is a team again, when you looked at it, squad depth, and this is something that Liverpool fans have spoken about for years, you're right, is we didn't have the squad depth. We didn't have the squad depth. If Salah got injured, if Mane got injured, if Bobby got injured, if Fabinho was out, we had no one to go and play anywhere, right? Hence why we couldn't really go and win the league and then win and do the back-to-back. That's been Liverpool's problem.
Don't compare the Champions League to the League Cup or FA Cup. I'm being very specific.
I'm not comparing it, but I'm saying the difference is if within this period, let's say 2 years in, Arteta goes and wins the FA Cup, wins the Carabao Cup.
That's my point, though.
Within that period,
yeah, but they're past this, guys. But they're past this. They're past this.
No, but they're not. But this is the argument.
You won the FA Cup.
We're saying they're past this, but they haven't won anything.
That's my point.
You can't say they're past. That's why. You can't say they're past winning.
Yeah, but that's why currently they are failing.
Mo. Let me make it clear to bounce off.
Hold on, Chaz. Hold on. Let me. That's why, Jerry. Now they are failing, right?
Mo. The reason why I brought my original point up was to say, if Arsenal had picked up that FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, FA Cup, even 2 of them in the last 5 years, one last year, for example, a lot of fans, even rival fans, would have a lot more leniency. We know
I don't agree with that.
Let me have a point, Egal. Let me have a point. They would be making the argument of the league is not good enough. You need to win that. But at least you're picking up trophies. Like, we're actually winning along the way. You've proven you can win something else other than the team you've got right now you built. The problem with a lot of Arsenal fans even have, which I listen to, their issue is you're not even winning the cups. I'm seeing Newcastle win cups. I'm seeing other smaller teams win cup.
Would you rather be Newcastle? Okay, can I ask you guys something? Okay, let me ask you. Hold on. Let me ask a question for everyone in the.
They need to be Newcastle.
Okay, let me ask you. Would you rather be this season? Okay, great guys. Let me just tell you guys something. Would you rather be Arsenal today or Chelsea?
You're missing the point. It's not about.
I'm asking you. Just answer the question. Just answer the question.
No, I'll be honest. I'm saying I'd rather be Arsenal, but my point isn't about rival fans giving leniency. Ultimately, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I don't care really what rival fans have to say about Liverpool, right? What I'm saying is when you're talking about just the football perspective, if Arsenal go and win a competition, it gives me, just as a fan and as just someone looking from a neutral perspective, more belief that, you know what, when they go through a situation like that, they're probably going to go and win it again. Right?
What's your conclusion, Jerry? So at this point, I want your conclusion.
Is, it goes back to what I'm saying. Until Arsenal win, right? And whether you think they've gone past the Carabao Cup, even though I disagree with it, until they win, I'm not going to look at them and think, yeah, you know what? They're going to go and win it. Because guess what? What I've seen, and there's more evidence of, is the fact that they can't get it over the line. They can't get it over the line for whatever it is, whether it's the manager, whether it's because their players are not experienced, whether it's because they've got loads of injuries. There's always a reason as to why something doesn't happen. Right? There's always a reason.
That's fair enough. Let me do the super chat. Guys, before we go on, guys, it's about 900 people close.
Before we go on, being able to do it because you haven't done it. And I know you can sit here and say, oh, we won the FA Cup. You won the FA Cup with someone else's team. Like, it wasn't his team. He hadn't built that squad together.
Did Arne Slot win with Klopp's team?
Slot won with Klopp's team.
I'm not talking about Arne Slot hasn't won FA Cups and League Cups. That was Jurgen, and it was his team.
No, I'm talking about he won the league with Klopp's team.
There's a difference. I'm not talking about the league. I'm talking about
no, but I'm saying let's not do this. Let's not do this.
I don't want to go back to 6 years ago. Guys, before we go on, there's almost 1,000 people here. Guys, help the algorithms. Like the video. There's only 160 likes on this video. Let me do this super chat because it's related to Arsenal only have the best defensive depth. Barca have the best collection of mids in Europe, with a lot of teams have better collection of attackers. Arsenal have a lot of depth in the middle, actually, numbers-wise. They have Declan Rice, they have Zubamendi, Odegaard, Norgard, Moreno. Eze can play in the middle. Nwaneri can play in the middle. They have the numbers, right? In terms of attackers, if people want to say that Arsenal don't have attackers, how come Arsenal are getting by now playing Eze and playing Madueke without Odegaard, their main creative midfielder, and people say that they don't have attackers? Imagine if Chelsea don't have Neto, don't have Estevao, don't have Palmer, but they're performing. That is the definition of good enough depth to win games. Arsenal won against Forest, which is everyone last season without this depth. And stop me if I'm wrong. If Saka was not there, right? If Odegaard was not there, a lot of people would say Nottingham Forest would nick a point of Arsenal because Arsenal were not going to go enough. If Arsenal went in a way European game without Saka and without Odegaard, people would have said, yeah, Arsenal would not have won that game in Europe. But this season, Arsenal won both games convincingly, by the way, with clean sheets. 5 goals scored, 0 conceded. That is the definition of quality depth, good enough depth to win the games without their best players, right? Isn't that the definition 100%. Of depth?
And you know something? The main point of this, before we got into the argument of winning trophies, is Arsenal's squad the best in Europe? I don't think we have the best attack in Europe. I don't think we have the best midfield in Europe. I think we have the best defense, and I think we have the most cover out of every team I've seen in the Premier League. I can't judge every team in Europe because I don't know every team in Europe.
I think based on what you guys have experienced so far, you could argue that, but this is why it goes back to depth, right?
We definitely have better depth than Liverpool.
So what about Liverpool then? Yeah, exactly. I want to go to Liverpool. I don't want to have only make it about Arsenal.
Definitely have better depth than Man City.
And Chelsea.
Chelsea,
because Chelsea said they closed the gap as well. So go ahead, Joe.
But the depth can only be argued. Obviously,
what is the drop off for the second player in every position?
Yes, of course you can go and talk about it, but ultimately, right, I remember whether it was last season or 2 seasons ago, I looked at Arsenal and was like, you know what, in terms of depth, they've got a lot of good names on the thing, but ultimately, if Arteta doesn't use them, if Arteta doesn't use them, or he looks at Trossard and thinks, I don't think you're good enough to go and play in this game, or I don't really trust you, and you had Sterling, I don't really give you minutes. As a name, yeah, he's a body. Some teams can have bodies in midfield, of course, and bodies in the team, but ultimately, depth is only tested as it is with Arsenal right now. So your depth has been tested because Saka's been out and Odegaard's been out and Saliba's been out and you managed to go and win games. And Havertz, whoever. I'm just saying you've been tested, right? Liverpool haven't been tested like that yet. So until they get tested, we can't go and say whether they've got depth or not, because guess what? If Salah goes out injured, but Klopp makes an adjustment, or Slot makes an adjustment, as you alluded to, and Rio gets 10 goals in that span, you're looking at it now thinking, wow, Liverpool's depth is really, really
exactly.
Really
I swear I was going to make the same point, Jerry. I swear I was going to make the same point. Arsenal depth is tested from second game of the season. Exactly. Liverpool depth is not yet tested because...
But that's not true. But that's also not true because our depth our depth has been used because we needed to use it, because we needed to win games. And guess what? Our depth came up with the winners.
Good point.
Fair enough. That's a very good point, to be honest. Very, very good point.
So
I can
it
argue
is
that
proven
point.
already.
I will be
That's a
honest.
good point still.
I don't know if Liverpool's depth is good enough, but one thing I do know is Arne Slot can find solutions. So I'll give Arne Slot the benefit of the doubt.
That's the depth, then, isn't it?
No,
That's
that's the
Suppose
manager.
like right back
the
is the
manager.
definition of finding
That's not the
solutions.
depth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not the depth, in my opinion. That's the manager finding solutions. Fair play to the manager. But right now, if I were to say defensive depth, you guys lack that.
But I don't think. Okay.
If I would say midfield depth, I feel like you guys don't have solutions for if Gravenberch and McAllister or somebody like that is out for an extended period. You're going to have to rely on.
Curtis Jones is
You're
good
going to have
enough.
to rely on Curtis
So
Jones or
disingenuous to-
Endo.
Can I actually tell you the truth, Egal?
That's so
Mm,
disingenuous to Joe
Hold
Gomez.
on, Egal. I actually don't think that
Actually won the league
Liverpool
twice.
probably have the numbers that you have. So you have 7 midfielders. You might have 5. But I think the quality, for
Yeah, I
example,
was about to say the same thing.
the quality that they have, like for example, Vert, Szoboszlai, Curtis Jones, McAllister, Gravenberch, that combination quality-wise is better than Moreno, Norgard, Zubimendi, Rice, Odegaard. Do you agree?
Facts.
Who's after that?
Who's after
That's
that for
a
you?
good midfield,
Who's
by
after
the
that
way.
for you?
You name 5
Who's after
players
that?
for me. You name 5 players for me. You name
Who's
4
your
for
6th player? Eze?
No, you named 5 for Liverpool.
them. Okay.
I named 5 for Liverpool.
You missed out
Do they
Endo.
not have Endo in that mix?
I use Jerry's logic, which is I heard him talk on Sam's channel. He said, I'm not going to rely on a player that we used for 180 minutes last season, something like he said that, like, if he said that about Rio Nugumoa, right? If Arne Slot doesn't play him minutes, I cannot say his depth because Indo last season played 180 minutes in 38 games. That is a player that I don't count in the first season. Like I can't count a player that played 180 minutes. It's not a player.
Liverpool's players will continuously look like better players because they've won league titles and they have been on form.
No, I don't use that for analysis. I use that watching them on the pitch.
I'm not going to compare.
No,
I'm not going to
did you
compare
actually
players.
say Gravenberch?
I'm not going to. I think it's unfair if I sit here and try to compare my midfield.
Can I ask you something, Egal?
No,
Can I ask you something? Let me ask one question.
We haven't seen Zubimendi in the league for well over a year, so I can't judge Zubimendi.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. Do you agree that Curtis Jones' depth changed the game against Arsenal?
Yes, he was one of their best players.
That's their depth. Do you have a player that will
And
come off the
Newcastle.
bench for Odegaard that will change the game?
Ethan can come on and
He hasn't, though. He hasn't.
But last season he didn't. That's why
Yeah,
we has to go back to my argument
last
about
season
Ranieri.
he was performing at a high
Hey,
level.
boys, even yesterday, right? They had injuries and he still didn't play Ethan in the 10.
What are you talking about?
Moreno.
He played 37 games last year.
No.
No, yesterday.
We're talking about current season, correct, Mo? You want to talk about forward in future?
I'm talking about this season because Arsenal have changed their squad completely.
Mo,
with
my point
Zubimendi
is
and all these
they
people.
had injuries to Odegaard and he still didn't play Ethan in the 10, which is Jerry's point.
Which is, I don't know why.
He had plenty of chances to start him, not come on
And he didn't bring him on as a sub either. He didn't bring him on as a
He
sub.
brought him on, 5-0 against Leeds for 15 minutes. Like, what are we doing here? It's not the same as Jones coming in.
Are we going to talk
0-0,
about solutions off the bench? I think yesterday was a good example of Arsenal squad depth, where we had 2 players come off the bench to help us win that game in Martinelli and Trossard.
Yeah, that's fair.
In the past. And we speak about Liverpool's depth, finding them solutions. You know something? We haven't really needed our depth to find the solutions too often because we've been either winning these games quite comfortably or grinding them out. And majority of our starters have been the main guys contributing.
The problem is I still can't judge Liverpool until I see Alexander Isak play, to be honest. Hit the like button, people. Listen to Luke. Thank you, Luke, for reminding everyone to like the video. Hit that like button, people. Come on, get us to 500 likes. I still can't judge Liverpool until I see Isak, Egal. Everyone in the panel, by the way, it's not directed to Egal. The difference is Alexander Isak is so much of a difference maker that he can absolutely change all our minds about Liverpool. All our minds can change if he plays. He's that good for them, right? So, yes, we judge Wirtz, we judge Salah. What if Isak comes in and score like 30 goals, 25 goals? What if he's as explosive as he was for Newcastle? That would remove.
That our best player hasn't played majority of the season, Saka.
Yesterday I said the same. I'm waiting to see Saka. But do you think Saka makes the same impact as Isak for Liverpool? Does he make for Arsenal the same impact? A lot of Arsenal fans have told me that we don't miss Saka. A lot of Arsenal fans think that Saka should go to the left.
Facts.
Nobody says that.
Different-
Nobody says
No,
that.
I've actually heard Arsenal fans say that.
Madueke right now. They're saying
The
Madueke
drop off
right
isn't that
now.
much, innit? That's what they're saying. The drop off isn't that much. I've literally
So
heard them say that.
But the difference with
No,
Isak for
Bukayo
me,
Saka is one of the.
By the way, Egal, my opinion is I think it's crazy actually because I think Saka comes in and Madueke
Yeah.
goes to the bench right away.
Bukayo Saka is still one of our best players, and the moment he's back in this team, people are going to realize how much of a level raiser he actually
100%. I agree with you here. I don't disagree.
Because right now,
I don't disagree.
Right now, what we're seeing from Liverpool is they're trying to get into gear. They're trying to click. Last season, they pretty much knew the team was already. They already knew each other quite well, so they didn't need too much time to click into gear. Same thing with Arsenal. Versus Forest, we played a front three that's never played with each other. They also then played.
So can I ask you something, Egal? How continue with this before? How do forget Arsenal? How do you assess the Liverpool team this season? Are they your ultimate favorites for the league this season? In the Champions League, we know. How do you assess Liverpool this season?
Very simple. I think Liverpool are the team to knock off the perch until somebody else takes that from them. They're the team to knock off. As of right now, I still believe Arsenal will win the league. But the reason why I believe
based on what? Can I say based on what? Yes.
The reason why I believe that is because I feel like we've gotten enough attacking depth now to say my attack will be able to be up there with the best of the league. Because I think our defense has been good. I think our midfield has been good. What we were lacking is the attacking prowess. And now that we have Gyökeres, Eze, Saka, Nani Madueke, Martinelli, Trossard, I feel like we have enough pieces in the attack to find solutions against low blocks, against any team. I know we didn't find it against
You're ignoring Liverpool and talking about Arsenal. You're ignoring Liverpool improving as well.
Because I want to talk about my team's deficiencies and improvements. I am not sitting here belittling anything about Liverpool's because I cannot control what they do. What I can control is my team and my performances. And I believe the reason why we didn't win the league the last couple of years was because of we were drawing too many games and we didn't have enough squad depth. Now, if we can go and
was your squad depth the reason why you lost the home to Aston Villa?
Now with the squad depth that we have, we should be able to kill off games. We should be able to get over the line with our attack in the majority of these games.
Yeah, but Liverpool. My point about it is that Liverpool have improved massively as well. Massively.
I understand that, but I cannot predict where Liverpool's deficiencies are going to be, and I don't want to sit here talking about Liverpool's deficiencies. I'm just going to sit here and speak about my improvements on my deficiencies, and I think that is enough for me to pick up enough points to go on and win the league. And if Liverpool drop off or if they play the same level, I expect my team to be in and around 90 points, and I think that's way more than what Liverpool got last season.
Fair enough. Let me see. Tevin here is saying the argument is tiring. I spent 2 years over scrutinizing Arsenal and defending Arsenal. It is tiring. I am going back to being a supporter of the team and not a critic. People can think whatever. Let's see what happens in the end. But that's why we do the shows. We talk about who's the best, which team look better. That's why we criticize Liverpool in the first 4 games. We do that as well. That's why we talk about Chelsea. That's why we talk about Arsenal. This is a YouTube conversation, Tevin. Right? Nobody knows. By the way, tomorrow, which happens, by the way, God forbid, today, Van Dijk gets injured. He's out for half the season. I don't have Liverpool as favorites to win the league. That's me. It's done for me. Like that these things can happen. You know what I mean? Like Saka gets injured for long term. Caicedo gets injured for Chelsea. I'm thinking that Chelsea might go in the top 4. My point about this is that we cannot predict the future, but we can analyze what we're seeing right now. Which is
the thing is, though, the thing is, Mo, is like I know you talk about like what if Arsenal Saliba got injured. Arsenal probably had a meltdown thinking, oh my God, what are we going to do?
But they fixed that now.
Mosquera's come in and look brilliant. Like it's a chance for someone else as well. So yeah, okay, maybe Virgil van Dijk does get injured. Oh my God. Well, we've got Joe Gomez, we've got Leone. Leone could be unbelievable. We just don't know until you try it. So it's just a case of like, it's an argument which isn't really an argument because it hasn't happened, so you don't know. Like it's just like Chelsea. Like players get injured, other players come in and they could be amazing. Like look at some of the players.
Chelsea are the team that by the way, now is getting patted on the back from the
no,
this
sounds exactly.
He was good last season. Definitely not.
This sounds exactly
definitely
like
getting patted on the back.
This sounds exactly like me last season. You're right. You're right. This is exactly how we sounded last season, going into the season, thinking Ethan was enough cover for Odegaard. Going into the season, thinking
he did a good job.
going in thinking we had enough cover in every position, and then boom, you know what happens? Reality hits you midway through the season when you realize you could have done more in the transfer window. Even though you spent a lot of money, I think you could have maybe spread it out a little bit better and got another center back of quality. Maybe get Gomez. Maybe have gotten another midfielder to be a backup for Gravenberch, so he's not playing every single game.
Right, to that point then, right? To that point, let's say Liverpool did that and Gahey got injured as well. Then what? This is the argument. You're talking about if, buts, and maybes. Like ultimately, right, the manager and the team are judged on the way that they prepare for the season. Liverpool believe that Rio, Chiesa, along with the 4 forwards, Ekitike, Isak, is enough. Liverpool believe that with their midfield options, it is enough. Liverpool believe that the centre-back options are enough. They also brought in Leone. They brought a centre-back in for 30 million. Like, the Liverpool think he's enough. So whether he is enough will only be proven. I didn't think Mosquera would be as good as he's been. I didn't think so, but he's come in and done extremely well. So that aids to your point. If he came in and was rubbish, all of a sudden you guys are saying, oh, we haven't strengthened. We signed Mosquera. We signed another centre-back. It's rubbish. Arsenal signed another defender and he's not good enough. Like, do you know what I mean? You've got to wait and see what the team's going to say.
Yeah, we'll see. But listen, I want to shift the conversation a little bit, guys. Chelsea is not getting enough scrutiny.
Can I just say something on Isak? I didn't get to say anything about Isak. Look, the difference.
What about Isak?
The difference with Isak coming into Liverpool, is, and this is the difference with Saka. Saka goes into Arsenal and just plays the same game. Like, he just plays on that wing what he's been doing for year and year and year in. And Arsenal play the same with him. Isak comes into Liverpool. Liverpool do not play with a number 9 right now. Like, watch the games, because Wirtz and Ekitike play in each other's zone. They play on top of each other. Sometimes Wirtz is ahead of Ekitike because Ekitike loves to drop into midfield and he spends most of his time not in the box. This is the difference between Liverpool with an Isak in it. Liverpool will have a focal point, which we just haven't had this season. And that's what I'm so excited about. And that's why I think Isak could be a big difference to Liverpool moving forward, because Mo has a focal point to put a ball into someone. Cody has a focal point to put the ball into someone. Everybody drops too deep in Liverpool's attack right now, which is why Chiesa looked really good when he's come on, because he's just gone up front and he's played the number 9 before. And this is why Isak will be a big difference to Liverpool this season. But Saka's just going to be Saka. Like,
you're playing at home today, right? You're playing at home against Atletico Madrid.
All right. You know, it might not be the same caliber, but they got Isak. We got Erling. We don't have Erling Haaland. We don't have Isak. But guess who we have? We have Victor Gyökeres, and he's going to be there.
Isak.
He's going to be there. He's not the same player, but he's going to be there and thereabouts come the end of the season with goals.
I don't think he's 50% of what Isak is.
You know something? He doesn't have to be to get 20 goals.
I'm being serious.
No, but he doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be 50% of the same footballer to get 20 goals in the league.
I like Isak. I like Gyökeres, but I don't think he's 50% of what Isak is.
But Mo, he doesn't have to be to get 20 goals in this Arsenal team and get us over the line.
I think we'll see, like, to be honest with you. I liked what I saw from him overall play yesterday, but I think Isak can carry Liverpool's attack. I don't think Gyökeres can. That's
I think the difference is between the players is that we've seen Isak can give you that moment of brilliance where he takes on 3 players and slaps it to the corner. You can't stop that. You see against Arsenal with Liverpool, right? Szoboszlai, one moment of magic. Arteta was speaking about that. The teams were level, but just that one moment of magic that took the game away from Arsenal. Isak is another player that Liverpool have in their team that can do that, along with Salah, along with Wirtz, and that's what we hope these players can do. Whether they can do it on a consistent basis, we'll see, because we haven't seen them play yet. But that's what Isak's got. Gyökeres isn't going to go and do that. Gyökeres is going to rely on Saka to do that. Do you know what I mean? Saka's someone that's proven he's got that in him. Where, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You need something out of nowhere and can do it. That's the
I think Eze can be the guy, to be honest.
I genuinely
Eze. I think Eze and
Saka.
No, even on the left wing. But by the way, I criticized Arteta yesterday for Eze playing on the left wing. I think Eze can provide something for Arsenal that they don't have, which is that it's explosive, can get a moment out of nowhere. I think he will do it. I genuinely think Eze will do it.
Also in the 10 moments. Also in the 10.
No, Arteta will absolutely learn how to use Eze with time that he's not going to start on the left. He's going to start like probably a little bit central, starting at left winger, but he's going to receive the ball central.
I'll tell you something else that Eze will do. Eze will make Martinelli better this season. Watch.
Yeah, facts.
Watch.
You guys say I think actually, and that's something I've said. I actually think that Havertz, when he comes back from injury, is going to have a very good season off the bench. And in some games he starts. He's going to have fire in his belly because Eucharist is the starting forward. And I'm actually thinking that Havertz is going to be very good.
And it's a World Cup year. So it's like everyone's gonna wanna be at their top level. There's extra motivation for everybody to perform at their best.
Mosquera had a Pep as one of the best in the Liga, had the Rep as one of the best in the La Liga. Yeah, Mosquera was fantastic, to be honest with you. He's playing very well for Arsenal now. They don't miss Saliba as much. For Chelsea, yeah, a lot of people think they have an agenda against Chelsea. My point about this, which is, by the way, Ads made it yesterday on the show, by the way. Now, he said, it doesn't matter about the future. Why did I spend 90 million on that left side and my options are Gittin or Garnacho? Why my left wing is not the best in the league? Why I'm not getting one of the best in the league if I have a 90 million spent on the left? The right side, fair enough. They got the wonder kid from Brazil, Estevao. They got Neto, right? Osuga's now probably injured until November. They got Bonanotti to be backup for Palmer. Bonanotti. What is this?
I'd also say Chelsea are the only team from last year's top four that don't have a top four level manager. I think Maresca's going to get completely exposed again this season. They've got a squad capable of finishing fourth, but I think he's so far off Arne Slot. He's so far off Pep Guardiola. And even though I don't feel Arteta's their level, I still think he's a good coach capable of winning a trophy. I just don't think Maresca's going to be able to manage multiple competitions and motivate a squad at the same time through adversity to get them over the line. And I just think Chelsea are going to be this year's disappointment if you're a neutral and you're thinking they're going to do well.
You know, everything you just said was the opposite last season, right? Everything you just said. We had the poor middle part of the season. Adversity hit. I think we've got the most informed team behind. I don't know who's. I think it's behind City in the league.
City have the best form in the last 18 games.
I think Chelsea's behind them up until recently. I mean, last game maybe. And then you said something about he can't galvanize a team to win trophies when he literally won the Carabao Cup Conference League. Conference League, I don't rate like that. But the point is, despite the poor run in the middle of the season,
if Spurs were the big fish in the Europa League, Chelsea, it was like, putting Eden Hazard into a five-a-side for an under-12 game, putting him in the Conference League.
Conference League, I also don't rate like that, by the way. But the point is, the Carabao Cup, did you expect us to win that?
The Carabao Cup?
The Carabao Cup.
Oh, the Club World Cup? No, I didn't, but I also didn't expect Man City to get beaten by...
So you didn't you didn't expect us to win that. Did you expect us to get top four?
I did expect to get top four, yeah.
So how was he not a top four manager then?
Because I think he was carried by a squad that was the third best squad in the league last year.
The same squad that couldn't score a goal up front. We had no attackers to score a goal for like 7 games.
Every squad had issues last year.
During the running towards the end of the season, it was Cucurella scoring goals against Man United and co to help us get that.
Put it this way, would you swap?
My point is, you made a lot of points, but there wasn't actually a lot behind it. It was a lot of like.
Would you swap Would you swap him for Pep Guardiola?
That's not my point.
Would you swap him for Slot?
That's not my point.
Would Arsenal fans swap him for Arteta?
Who said Maresca's better than
fans? I'm just saying, I don't think manager-wise he's as good.
Do you think Thomas Frank is better then? Do you think Thomas Frank is better?
I think he's better defensively, but I think Maresca's going to be better offensively. So I think Chelsea, he will coach
overall.
Chelsea
Would you swap Thomas Frank for Enzo Maresca?
No.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan of Thomas Frank. You know that anyway. Sorry. That's just my bias.
So so you don't think that Enzo Maresca is better than Thomas Frank? No, you don't. Anybody here else? Anybody else wanna answer this?
I've always liked Thomas Frank. I don't know the
personally.
So Jerry thinks that Thomas Frank is better than Enzo Maresca.
Like
Yeah.
that's my.
Egal?
People were telling me in the comments to cook.
I've never seen Thomas Frank under the same level of pressure yet. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
exactly. It's hard to say.
point.
Frank,
You wouldn't.
Frank
So,
is
so,
not
so,
on
so
level yet.
currently, so the answer is currently you wouldn't.
No,
Currently, I would rather have Maresca.
I'm
I
basing.
want to know what the Spurs fan was referring to when he said we're not a top 4 team, top 4 manager. We've got
No, I
top 4
said you've
1-2
got a
trophies.
top 4 squad. I
Oh,
just
yeah, the
don't
squad,
think
okay.
your. I think your squad is possibly the third, maybe fourth
Okay.
at worst. Fourth at worst in the league. It's a better squad than Spurs.
So
But
I
I'm
want to ask you
saying,
a question.
I think in the same way that often Arsenal fans get hit with, Arteta is what's holding them back. I think Arteta's not as good as Pep or Slot. But he's good enough to win a trophy with Arsenal. And he's already won one. But I mean, like one with his own squad and build an own squad. In the same way, I don't think Chelsea will be able to win a title with him as manager unless they get a squad. Because you've got to get a manager that can be so good, he's going to outperform Pep and outperform Slot with a worse squad.
What is your evidence that Arteta will be able to outperform Slot?
No, it's not even that.
Because I think Arsenal have got a squad that is probably the joint best in the Premier League. So it gives Arteta an opportunity to maybe do it. If the chips fall correctly for him, he gets a bit of luck. Liverpool have a couple of injuries in key positions and Arsenal don't, then it could happen for Arsenal. But I just don't think Chelsea are on that same plan. I'm saying Chelsea have got a better squad than Spurs, but I don't think Spurs are challenging for a title remotely. But I'm saying Chelsea's ambition is to challenge for a title, and I don't think they're in that mix this year.
What I will say, though, is Arne Slot did say that one of the hardest games he played last season twice was Chelsea. Like, so
because they have one of the best midfields. They have one of the best.
I want to get back to the debate. I don't know what the Spurs fan's name is. What's her name? Sorry,
Jim.
Oh, Jim. I want to get your point. So let's make it clear so we can get foundation. So your point is Chelsea's squad you believe is the third or fourth best squad in the league, correct?
Yeah.
You also believe that Maresca is not a top 4 manager and he will struggle this season to get Chelsea in the top 4.
I think he's the worst manager in the top 4.
Fair enough. That's comparing to Slot, Pep, and
Arteta.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. And you believe that if Chelsea was to get top 3 or top 4 with a top 4 squad, you believe, and a manager who's not in the top 4, that'll be the players kind of carrying the manager to that position.
I think currently 4th is the ceiling with Maresca in charge.
Okay.
And that's where they'll finish.
How do you judge Pep's performance last season in the league? Because they finished 2 points in front of us, didn't win the Carabao Cup and didn't win a trophy.
How would I judge it? It was a failure season for Manchester City last year.
Okay.
But I also don't. I think they overestimated their own squad a lot last season, and they were overly dependent on Rodri, as we all really clearly saw. But I still think Pep Guardiola has, with his history, warranted 1 or 2, mistakes. So I don't think we can say Pep, because of that season, isn't the best manager in the league. Like, you could argue about Slot, and Slot's doing all he can in the short amount of time he's been here to show he is as good and on that level. But you've just got to give Pep that grace that he's been doing it for so long, so consistently. Someone else has got to do the same thing to really say they're the best manager in the league.
My thing is, the only thing I disagree with you, because you say that we got the 4th best squad, right? Or the 3rd best squad. We finished 4th in the league, which you expected, but then you don't rate the manager. Even though he finished in position you probably expect him.
It's very simple. People don't rate the manager because he believes the team is of that caliber and he just got what they were expected to get.
Yeah, but a team is nothing about the manager, vice versa. There's only so much.
I can debunk this so easy, guys.
That
I can debunk this so easy.
Let me
just say my piece on this. I'm not gonna talk. Let me say my piece on this. Guys, please. I'm gonna debunk what Jim said. Very simple. Last season, Jackson, the only striker that Chelsea had, really was out for 14 games. Enzo Maresca found solutions with Neto up top to make them qualify for the Champions League and win games, playing Pedro Neto up top and playing Cole Palmer as false nine. That is the definition of someone finding solutions. Same as Arteta when he found Moreno up top. This is it. So the squad is not that deep, actually, what you think, Jim. The squad actually was lacking a lot last season because they didn't have enough. Lavia was injured the majority of the season.
Chelsea didn't score, and no attacker scored. Palmer was flopping, poor form. Jackson injured. Poor form, right? Cucurella and clean sheets and snatching victories was why we got top 4 in the end, which the manager managed to find a way because none of our attackers.
I think this conversation is completely wrong.
No.
I genuinely think this conversation is completely wrong. After what Chelsea did last season, the scrutiny you should get. I actually think that Chelsea should have improved enough to close the gap on Arsenal and Liverpool, but they didn't do enough in the transfer window. Rather than we talk about the manager that got them the Club World Cup finish and they finished top 4.
Let me talk about the transfer window. I'm sharing my screen, Mo, for a reason.
I know, but
I know. You can't say Villa and Newcastle have a squad anywhere near as deep as Chelsea's last year, or Spurs, or any other team below them in the league. The top 4 last year had squads far superior than all the teams below them last year. You had Villa trying to patch it together with loans with Rashford, for goodness sake.
Jim, you're completely going to the wrong conversation. Forget last season. This season is the problem for Chelsea.
The example as to why they overachieved, and then but they were also. I
never said overachieved. Never.
So fourth,
I never said overachieved.
So the manager didn't overachieve last year.
He overachieved in one competition.
Overachievement.
Okay. The Club World Cup.
The Club World Cup was the only overachievement.
Jim, I've been doing YouTube for so long. There's a video out there of me saying that Chelsea will get fourth. They got fourth. They will win the Conference League. They won the Conference League.
So I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's their level.
That's it.
I don't think they're going to get above that whilst Maresca's there.
Now you're talking. Now we're talking about if they close the gap on Arsenal and Liverpool. That is the talk.
So Jim,
I don't think they did.
Something clear. I want to get something clear from Jim. So Jim,
I'm going to share the Egal screen now.
How do you expect Chelsea to do in the Champions League, for example? Because we're all winning on this table.
Left. Let me just stay on the transfer window for 2 seconds.
The transfer window first.
I just want to say, going into the window, when you started it off with the Lab and Joao Pedro, I thought Chelsea were headed on the marks to go get Xavi Simons, go and get Gerald Hato. I was like, wow, these guys are cooking. But in my opinion, with Garnacho and Gittins, I'm looking at the rest of your window now, and it does look very underwhelming compared to the quality we were speaking about going into.
For the money spent, it's the worst window out of all the top 4.
For the quality Chelsea were speaking about going into the window, talking about Kudus, talking about Xavi Simons, talking about Eze, talking about trying to get another top striker coming in to end the window. Outside of Joao Pedro, the rest of them, and Gerald Hato, I don't think Gittins, I don't think Garnacho, I don't think Delap. I don't think some of these guys are really going to improve your team to the level where you want them to improve. I thought you were going into the Champions League with a much better team, but you really just took out a bunch of players you did not rate fully with potential. And unless they hit and they do a Cole Palmer, I don't really
Let me show you the money, Egal. So just to back this is Chelsea's window, right? For the money spent, £238 million. This is the window they got. This is it. For that money, Chelsea could have closed the gap to Liverpool and Arsenal, but Chelsea, the Arsenal train and the Liverpool train have moved faster than the Chelsea train. This is it. These are the signings. The money spent could have been utilized somewhere else.
I know
that she agrees with this because I know that you spoke about this.
I want to make a point on
2 seconds. 2 seconds. You know when Chelsea won the Club World Cup, I genuinely thought you were going to buy Isak. I genuinely thought you were going to.
Then you're delusional. You're delusional. Then
the board is never going to drop 150.
When we're going to go and do something nuts, like an Osherman or an Isak or an.
Then people don't play Chelsea enough. Then they don't know
a striker.
You just don't. That's just where that come from.
Underwhelming.
Chelsea did not show a statement of intent this window. They basically showed they're still staying on the same plan, develop for the future, and keep buying players with scope to grow. But unless some of them hit and you get 2 Cole Palmers out of the bench, I don't see them actually bridging the gap.
Cool. Let me just make
this clear. That's fair. But ultimately, last season, I'm not going to lie, I didn't think Chelsea would get top 4. I'm going to be honest. And they did. And ultimately, if they perform today and beat Bayern Munich, the narrative is completely different, and you're looking at it completely differently because they've still got Cole Palmer. I think Esteval's a good player. Joao Pedro, we were ranting and raving about him, rightfully so. I wanted him as a Liverpool fan. So, look, it's still like early on. I think on paper, 100%, you can go and look at it and be like, yeah, they could have got this name or that name. But ultimately, we've seen it with Arsenal so many times, and even with Arsenal in the past, you can buy all the names you want. The names don't mean anything if they don't perform. So ultimately, we need to just see what these players are going to go and do. I still don't know how Esteval's going to. Do you know what I mean? How well he's going to do. He might be sitting there the season saying he's a quality player, and that goes for a lot of the team. It goes back to my argument about Arsenal. Right now, Madueke is turning it on. In 12 months' time, the petition might come out again. Do you know what I mean? Exactly, getting him out. You just don't know. You just got to kind of wait. Because let's be honest, when Arsenal signed Madueke, there was a petition to say, no, we don't want this player.
And Jerry, 4 games into the season, I retract that now.
4 games into the season,
the main reason why people are retracting is because we ended up getting Eze on top.
No, Egal.
At that time, everyone was going this. Haha, this is your left winger signing. You're not getting nobody else. We go and get Eze. Now the window looks a lot more better.
If Madueke was performing poorly, they would still be, oh my God, why have we spent money on Madueke?
100%, I agree with that.
That's the main reason. It's not about whether you.
Before a ball was kicked, someone like myself said, now that we got Gyökeres and Eze on top of Madueke, it makes more sense.
No. This is what we're not going to do. Just because you sign a mid player and you sign good players with it doesn't make the mid player better. He's still
Madueke has been better than the signings you spent 60 million.
No, but again, now you're deflecting onto my team. My point still stands by any team.
Oh, but he came from your team.
If I sign a player from Swansea tomorrow
and
sign 3 Real Madrid players, doesn't make the Swansea player Real Madrid quality, does it?
All right.
I see Egal's point. He has Chelsea sold him and just spent more on worse players.
No, that's a different conversation. I'm talking about
Chelsea sold him to Arsenal for 50 million. And you know something? In today's market, a player of that caliber goes for 50 million. Alanga went for 50 million.
I'm not justifying Gittins. I'm not defending Gittins. I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that people going, you sold Noni to get Gittins. Like, I'm not sitting here going, great business, am I? I'm not saying that's a great like for like. I see them both as young, decent players. Then one's not better than the other, one's not worse than the other. They're both decent.
And you know something? That's the luxury for us.
That's the end of the day, could you blame Chelsea? They doubled their money. They doubled their money.
That's why I'm confused why we keep bringing Gittins into this.
That's a luxury for Arsenal because we now have a backup for Saka that's of a decent
but quite frankly, I don't think Chelsea cared enough. Else I wouldn't have sold you to him.
No, you clearly care because you mentioned it.
If we cared so much, why are we sending to Arsenal 50 million?
No, you clearly are rattled by something because you mentioned it unprovoked.
Wait, how am I rattled? Sorry.
Did he not mention it unprovoked, boys? Or am I tripping?
What are you talking about?
Did you not mention Nani Madueke unprovoked?
No, someone else brought that. I didn't bring that up.
Jerry, did you bring up Nani?
Yeah, Jerry did.
Yeah,
we talking about rattled. What are you on about? Let me finish my point. Anyway,
he definitely got rattled.
Back to Jerry's point about Noni and stuff. The point is that Egal brought out the names and the money and whatever. Mo's saying underwhelming. I agree. Chelsea should have done much better in terms of the needle movers. But when Mack, for example, saying I expect Chelsea to go for, is that when Egal's saying they stuck to their model, we shouldn't be surprised by those two things. Chelsea this season, in my opinion, was never going to go out their way and spend 100 million on Isak or Wirtz to bridge the gap. In my opinion, they see the players we've got to grow, like Jerry said, and to prove whether they can stay at the club and be a certain level. Now, hold on.
Can I ask a question then? I need to ask a question about that point before you move to the. Do you think you will catch the Liverpool? Look,
okay. That's the follow-up point. In my opinion, from last season, that drop-off is the reason why we didn't stay in the title race, where we didn't win in like 6 games. In my opinion, I do believe João Pedro's, Esteval's, the Asugo depth, for example, he's injured now, but hopefully he comes back and performs. I hope, and Santos, these players can fill in those gaps to where last season when we dropped off in the midfield of injuries and whatnot, and the quality went down in terms of performance.
So you expect a challenge?
So exactly, I was going to ask the same then.
I expect even now. But
you predicted or expect it? Predicted or expect it?
As well. I predicted
as well. All right then.
I think Chelsea's team is underrated, but I do agree we didn't on the transfer side. We could have done much better than Gittins and Garnacho. So in that respect, I do agree we could have gone much.
I've seen enough from the first 3 games to tell me Chelsea's not going to be in this title race.
That's fine.
So who takes Palmer's slack then when Palmer goes off the boil again?
In my opinion, we can play Palmer centrally or in the right wing. Now,
who covers for him when he goes off? When he goes off the boil?
I'd rather have João Pedro in the tendon up front, in my opinion. But Delap's injured, so at the moment it's a bit techie. He has to go.
Delap is gonna come back, guys, early November. Within a month or so.
Start of the season, we're playing João Pedro in the 10 and the striker up front. That striker's now injured. João Pedro's gone up front. He's our most clinical striker at the moment, and everyone can here agree. He's been team of the season contender so far. He's been cold. Goals and assists, fine.
Mm-hmm.
He can stay there for now. I wouldn't rely on that the whole season title challenge. And if the lap doesn't come at the same player, I'll probably have to change my opinion. But as it stands from these 4 games, I've been disappointed with the draws against Palace and Brentford. But I'm not looking at those games going, that's a slight on the manager per se or the squad, because it's very early on. Where this continues, we don't beat Man United, we don't beat these other teams, we aren't competitive against business.
Do you expect it to continue or no?
I don't expect it to continue, no.
So you think you're going to finish ahead of Man City? Because a lot of people don't have Man City as title contenders.
People have Man City when Chelsea flipped. Some people have them 3rd, 4th.
Okay, no. This is different. A lot of people don't have Man City contending with the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal.
I don't know why they have that opinion. Because all it takes is for Man City to get a result against Arsenal, even to beat them. And all of a sudden,
do you expect them to get a result against Arsenal?
I think they can. I don't expect it.
Exactly. I'm expecting by that game, Man City are already going to be 9 points behind Liverpool.
Let's just say though,
and 7 points behind Arsenal. And I think at that time, Man City are not going to be there.
My point is that if Man City was to get a result, even a win, dare I say, against Arsenal, I don't think it will happen. But let's say it happened. All of a sudden now with a panel show.
But why would I assume something is going to happen that if you don't even predict it to happen? You're not, like, why would I assume something that you're not even thinking it might happen?
I don't think they'll get a win, but I think people are underestimating City in general. Like, they've still got Pep, and he can definitely change things around. So,
Pep's been ruled out so many times and turned it around.
People keep saying, they're out of it because we saw the results against Spurs and whatnot. And I'm not going to lie to you, Liverpool's wins aren't convincing despite they won the games. Champions mentality. Arsenal haven't played great against Forest and Leeds, got the goals, so it kind of covers up those cracks.
Arsenal played very well against Leeds and Western Forest.
I wouldn't say great. Like,
what are you talking
very
about?
good.
No, against Forest they played outstanding.
Forest they played better.
Very good, right? Like, am I bugging or something?
I'm not going to do the
One
second. We won 5-0.
First half in Leeds, Leeds were all right.
5-0.
I'm not going to have no one on this panel gaslight me and tell me to play well against
Bro, we won 5-0 and 3-0, and you're sitting here saying we played bad.
5-0 doesn't mean
you should be worried.
Cool. Why would I be worried if I won anything in 6 years? But anyway, let's go back to the main point. Leeds game.
This is a mad
the Leeds game. I don't think they performed that great, but they got the win. So I'm giving you credit for that. I'm just saying.
No, it's early in the season.
A
lot of teams are still.
The Forest game, yes, Mo. Leeds game, 50-50.
I mean, are we gonna big up Tottenham yet? Because I'm sorry, but Tottenham was well.
Listen, all I have to say, let me do this super chat before we go to Spurs, because there's a couple of them about Chelsea as well. Why is Sunday prediction for City Arsenal? Anybody, before I'm not going to go to everyone. Anyone here predicting City win?
Yeah.
I think they get a result. You laughed at me, man. I think so.
I'm not laughing at you. No, I'm laughing at your opinion. You know why, Shez? Because you said, I don't expect it, but what if? But you don't expect it.
No, but I don't expect them to beat them 3-0 or 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got a result. That makes sense.
2-1, something like that.
Okay, I like that, because I wouldn't be surprised if City get a
Guardiola in it, so I can't write him off.
Fair enough.
You're going to be
Jerry, you're expecting City win.
Yeah. Not expecting. Not expecting. I think City win.
Expecting is a strong word.
Expecting Liverpool against Burnley. I expect them to just turn them over. I think top games, I don't expect anyone to win, but I think City will win.
All right then, Dog. They showed that there's the strategy. Just let the season play out. Oh my God, Gittins didn't get a preseason. Everyone wants to be right, but I don't want to be right. I actually want to be wrong.
No, but
I genuinely I want Chelsea to compete.
The same argument we used before, where we haven't really seen Chelsea's depth from other teams' depth. I haven't seen Chelsea tested yet, which is why I'm disappointed we drew both those games.
I think we'll see it now, because you have a Wednesday game, then the Man United.
For example, today's game will say a lot. Sunday's game will say a lot. Or Saturday's game. So next week, we have the same panel. We'll see what Chelsea are really about. If we lose both the games, then we're going to be sitting here talking completely differently.
I'm expecting you to actually destroy Man United. Noni is better winger and will do more than any Chelsea winger come into the season.
False. Very false.
I don't think he's going to do more than Esteval.
When Saka comes back in, Noddy's on the bench.
Noddy's not even playing. He's not even playing.
He looked at his shoelaces. He won't be on the pitch.
He's not even playing. I think Spurs are going under the radar, to be honest with you guys.
No, they're not. They're doing average. Come on.
It depends what you mean by under the radar. If under the radar is sneaking back up to maybe finishing 6th, then yeah.
5th.
But
4th,
5th or 6th. Yeah. I think we've got the 5th best squad in terms of depth. When you look at the bench of what Spurs had against West Ham, I'm used to Spurs having kids no one's heard of on the bench. And we had Danso, Richarlison, Udogie, Johnson, Odegaard, Bentancur, Kinski, Davies, Muani. And that's with Solanke out, Maddison out, Kulusevski out. We've got a situation where we're leaving like Premier League proven players off the bench because we can't fit them in. I'm not used to seeing Spurs with a squad that deep. So I think that puts us above Aston Villa for squad depth, who had a very poor window, and puts us above Newcastle. But I think Newcastle have a better starting 11 when everyone's fit, especially their midfield. It's really strong. So yeah, I think Spurs are going to, get back up to 5th, 6th, that kind of area. They're defensively, they look really strong now. But where we do not look good is going forward in open play. We just don't seem to have any clue how to play that way yet. But I think that's just because it's a whole new front line with a new coach.
Thomas Frank doesn't know how to do open play.
Well, there is an air of truth to that, right? He's used to playing in a role where you're there to set out to win and be the reactive side, not the provocateur. And now he's got to figure that out. So I'm not getting carried away with it yet because I think Frank.
But I think you have the quality to overcome this by having Kudus and Xavi Simons. Like, he can afford to sit back and be solid defensively, knowing that one of the forwards will actually get it out of the way to score a goal. That's why you had 4 clean sheets, 4 wins out of 5.
Yeah.
You know it's just evidence.
It's evidence. Something on Spurs. I honestly reckon you're probably going to have 2 centre backs that will score 5 goals in the Premier League this season.
Thomas Frank's already got 2, isn't he?
Thomas Frank's set pieces, like open play type of goals like that, unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's
we've already noticed that. It's
Big
been massive difference. Yeah. And we've actually
I believe that. I believe that I want to see Spurs like in the next like 2, 3, 4 games, and then I'm gonna say that this is very solid defensively. If you do the 1-0s and the 2-1s, and I think I'll actually maybe I'll back Spurs to get 5th. Maybe as of now, easy. But listen, people, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Jerry James show in the description as well. Mack's channel is doing wonders now. Shez live every day on his channel as well. So go and support Shez CFC. If you're a Chelsea fan and you aren't subscribed to Shez, go and do that now. It's in the description. It's easy. Also, Spurs, James' channel in the description as well. Big up, Jim, for joining us. Egal's channel in the description as well. This is going to take you to Football Terrace. Straight facts, me, Hussam, and Terry. I know we're talking about probably Amorim sacked again. And then we'll talk about that. And I completely changed my mind. Man United finished. I will see you guys there. I'll see you guys tonight. Probably on Sam's channel. Probably a couple of videos. Tomorrow we'll do a show with Don, Jess, and the rest of them. I will see you guys soon. We're out of here, people.